Man, isn't it always nice to see where your money's going or is going to go? Well, as it turns out, instead of our money going into developing Genshin Impact, it's going to be going into bailing Genshin Impact out of whatever the FTC has gotten Hoyo into. Anyway, guys, welcome back. And I was not expecting anything like this to occur, but here we are. According to this article by PC Mag, um, and written by Will McCurdy, and of course it isn't just them. So many different journalist sites have made articles. And I've even seen some posts on Twitter. It's everywhere. Genshin Impact, aka Hoyoverse, is getting slapped with a $20 million fine for marketing loot boxes to children. And considering the game, Genshin Impact in particular, is marketed towards a more teen or younger audience, that I can definitely see that holding water. But anyway, let's get right into this article. It starts off with the FTC's complaint alleges that Singapore-based Cognosphere deceived um, deceived children and other users about the real costs of in-game transactions and the odds of obtaining rare prizes. Samuel Levine, director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, says Genshin Impact tricked kids and teens into spending hundreds of dollars on prizes they stood little chance of winning. And you see, I honestly believe that. When you go into the game and you pull up the wishing menu or the banners, right? There is a details button you can go into to look at it, and it'll tell you exactly what the odds are of a 5-star dropping. It'll tell you what the actual odds are and then the average, right? Um, but the thing is when you put it in the context of a younger audience, like people under 16 years old, like, kids, minors, right? If you put it in that context, the vast majority of them are not going to have the patience to try and sort through all that information. They're going to look at the banner and see, oh, there's in 90 pulls, I'm guaranteed to get this character, or I'm guaranteed to get a drop, rather, and they're just going to go for it. And if they have access to their parents' credit card, that's even worse. And I can definitely see how that can be a problem, personally, anyway. Let me know what you guys think about that in particular, but I think that it definitely could be an issue because I would like to say that the typical attention span of a child or a young teen is not going to be good enough to have the patience to actually go through the information properly and and be able to make a good decision. The article continues. In addition to the fine, the settlement means children under the age of 16 won't be allowed to purchase loot boxes in the publisher's games without a parent's affirmative express consent. The company will also be banned from misrepresenting loot box odds, prices, and features, and will need to allow users to buy them with money instead of in-game virtual currency. The order will also force the company to delete any personal information previously collected from children under 13 unless their parents have consent. Now, I think this is overall a good thing because it really is a slippery slope letting young teens or children play this game because while the game is catered to them and it's definitely, I would like to say that it is more or less a child-friendly game for the most part. The problem is when you get to the monetization part of the game, they're not going to know what they're looking at, and that could end very badly. Now, And like I said, I do think this is a good thing. Now, misrepresenting loot box odds, prices, and features. Um, the prices definitely. The features definitely. The odds, I'm not entirely sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, the point is that I can definitely see how children could be taken in and could spend an absurd amount of money on like a five-star character without their parents knowing because they don't know any better and they don't have the patience to go through the information like they should. Now, that's it for the article, but because it's a really short article, but anyway, so what I'm thinking is after this happens, one of two things are going to happen for me and anyone else here who play Genshin Impact any of the Hoyoverse games, okay? We're either A, going to see them actually step up and change the gacha system for the better, or B, we're gonna get like 10 pulls as an apology and we're gonna move on. And I think that we're probably just gonna get 10 pulls and move on. But wouldn't it be something if they actually changed the gacha system for the better in response to this $20 million fine? Like, I'm talking better conversion rates, because me personally, I think 160 gems for a pull is kind of stupid. I think that should be 100 gems to a pull, because at that point you can market it as $1 a pull. Personally, I think 100 is a much better conversion rate. And when you look at the top up store, now all the gacha games, even Wuthering Waves does this. All right. When you look at the store page where you can buy the currency, the conversion rates are actually ridiculous. Like you are basically getting scammed if you actually buy into the crystals, okay? Because if you sit here and do the math, the conversion rate is not good. Like when you're looking at the Genshin store, for example, of course you have the one-time bonuses, okay? You have the one-time bonuses, but once you use the one-time bonus, especially with the $100 purchase, it's not worth it. It is no longer worth it. The conversion rate, since it's 160 gems per pull, if you put that in a calculator and do the math, it's very simple math. I encourage you guys to look at it. It is not good. It is you are legitimately wasting your money, in my opinion, if you're doing that. And of course, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. But I'm just saying, like, that is not worth the money. And I could see Wuthering Waves potentially doing something too, because in my last video I did see a lot of people calling me out on the banners and stuff and all of that, and like I just want to make one thing clear, guys. So the main reason why I didn't bring up the weapon banners in the last video is because I was mainly focusing on the character banners. I know that the weapon banners have the same 80 pulls to a drop and that it's guaranteed, unlike Genshin, right? I know that. Um, and the reason why I was under the impression that Wuthering Waves' banner, like character banners, were 90 pulls like Genshin is because I guess I was away from the game this for so long that I forgot. And by the time I came back, I thought it completely slipped my mind. So it's just an honest mistake. Like I pre-registered for Wuthering Waves. I played it on day one every day up until the Mount Firmament update, and when I kind of walked away from the game because I got burnt out. But like I said, I took a long break. I came back. I made a misconception because I've been playing Hoyo versus games in the meantime. Like it's an honest mistake, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyway, another change I would like to see beyond conversion rates is I want Hoyo to get rid of the fate point system. The fate point system is a blatant cash grab mechanic. Like all the signature banners should be like Wuthering Waves where the signature is guaranteed on drop. That is what it should be. There's no reason for them to have a fate point system put in to where you lose your you lose out to a weapon, and then it's like, oh, well, now you have to commit, because if you don't commit, you're gonna lose your fate point because they don't carry over, and you just wasted your gems. Like, that's not right. Absolutely, that's not right. That should not be the case at all. They need to get rid of that, and I would love to see that happen after this big debacle they found themselves in. Now, another thing I would like to see is for them going forward to follow Wuthering Waves in the fact that characters won't be as good at exploration, and it'll be geared towards being more universal, like Wuthering Waves has it. And I saw some people in the last video point out in the comments that Wuthering Waves has some characters that are better at exploration, like Shorekeeper, for example, and stuff like that, right? And of course, I didn't know that. I said in the video that I wasn't aware of what all the new characters did. I was just making like an educated guess that they kept up with their model and didn't put out any characters that had like huge exploration advantages. But Genshin should follow suit because it's just a more consumer friendly system. Because especially with these characters that came out with Natlan, you shouldn't have to pay a bunch. You shouldn't have to feel like you need to go get a character just to make exploration easier. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I went over this in the last video. And I'm not saying characters shouldn't be OP like strong, because if you take away what makes the character good, then why are people like nobody's gonna pull on them? But I'm just saying they need to put that strength elsewhere, and there shouldn't be a whole lot of investment in the character's movement mechanics outside of combat, because that's just better, more consumer friendly character design in my opinion. But that's all I can really think of off the top of my head that I want them to do for Genshin if they decide to do anything in response to this happening. I doubt they will. Um, but and I wouldn't be surprised if any other games have start having some reverberations due to this happening. Like, of course, like Star Rail and Zenless are also Hoyoverse games, and they might that something might happen with that. Wuthering Waves has its own predatory issues, like having two different two different pull currencies for weapons and character banners, and I can definitely see how like if a younger individual is on that game, how much money are they're gonna spend just because they have to divide it between two currencies. I don't even want to think about it. But anyway, this is definitely something. This is crazy. I hope that something changes for the better in Genshin and the other gacha games that they have under their umbrella, but I personally doubt it. But we'll just have to find out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.